Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do a really quick review of a concealer, and by the title you should know that it is the Anastasia Beverly Hills their Magic Touch Concealer, and this is how the package comes. It has their classic black and rose gold, and it's beautiful. The outer package is also beautiful. Alright, so I have the concealer. I have to look for my concealer. Where is it? I just used it and here it is. Alright, so this is how the concealer looks. It looks so classy, right? So there's something behind the black and gold. I'm not that much of a fan of black and silver, but when it is black and gold, and especially black and rose gold or white and rose gold, it is so simple but yet so classy, and it is so beautiful. And that is how this packaging is. They have their traditional, the Anastasia Beverly Hills mark over here. It is the black and rose gold packaging. You can see the color of the product over here as well. I am using it in the shade 13. So first let's talk about the variation, how many shades they have. They have 25 shades. So I have tried quite a few shades. I did go to Sephora to buy the product. So yeah, they do have a pretty good range of shades with different undertones, so that is good. Now, how much the product? You get around... So you get around 0.4 fluid ounce. That is slightly lesser than what normally I think you get around 0.5 fluid ounce. So this is somewhere in between. In some products you get 0.35, some products 0.5. So this is 0.4, which is somewhere in between. But later in the part of the video, when I show you how I'm applying it, you will know that less is more for this product. Literally less is more. So you don't need a lot of products, so it's completely fine. This retails for $29, so it is very similar to a lot of concealers that you can find in the high-end side. So I would not compare it with this. Is definitely not a drugstore product. So $29 is very much at par with a lot of other concealers in the market that you can find on the high-end side. So yes, packaging is done, the cost is done. They have a really good variety of colors, 25 colors. They have good undertones. Now talking about the formulation itself. So it really gives full coverage. I've been using this for at least 1 week now. I think that I should have told it in the beginning of the video. Yes, so I bought this at least 10 days back. The day it was released, that's the day I bought it. And yeah, I've been using it ever since. And the moment I used it, I found something so different. So I wanted to try it in different ways and see how it wears best. So yeah, I've been just working with it for the past 1 week. The formulation is really pretty. It gives you a really natural look, but amazing coverage. When they say medium to full coverage, I would see not medium, right to the full coverage. It gives you amazing full coverage. I am not wearing any color corrector. Normally when I wear a concealer or a foundation, I use a color corrector because I really have deep dark circles. So I always need a color corrector. Otherwise, after the 3 to 4 hour mark, my dark circles will peek through, but it doesn't happen with this concealer. So the formulation is really amazing. It gives a really natural finish. Talking about the ingredients, this has the light reflecting ingredient, which I love in a product, and that is why I love one of the brand Hourglass, because most of the Hourglass products is famous because of their light reflecting technology, and this has that same type of technology. So even when you're clicking pictures, there's no flashbacks. It looks so beautiful in the picture. So yeah, it is a beautiful product. I've been trying it for a week now and I have been loving it. There is nothing much to say about it other than literally showing you how it wears on my skin. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Today I'm wearing it without any foundation. Yes, you heard me right. I'm not wearing foundation. I did the full shebang just with a concealer. So it is a no, I would not say a no makeup day because I have all the other shebangs on my face except the foundation, the base. So the base that I've used today is just this concealer, and look at the luminosity, look at the natural finish that's giving on my skin. And that is why I'm saying, more than talking about this product, I'm just going to show you how this product applies on my face, and it is a total thumbs up from my side. I don't know if I can tell this so early, but yeah, I think this is gonna be my holy grail concealer. I'm sorry, Dior. I'm seriously sorry. But yeah, Dior has been my holy grail for almost 2.5 years now. And yeah, I'm happy to say that I have another holy grail because it's really worth it. It's so beautiful. So let me stop talking and let me show you how I did this look. Welcome to my face. Alright, so I have the concealer. As I told you, I'm wearing in the shade 13. It is not a highlighting color. This color is very close to my skin tone, and I'm gonna show you how I've been wearing it for the past few days, most of the time, almost since the time I've got it. So you can see it has a really good Douful applicator. It has a really good slant, and it also carries a lot of product. Right now I just took away half of the product over here, but normally, let me just dip it once again. So when you dip it once, you can see how much product it carries, but I don't need even this much product. So I just take off half of the product. I just take the remaining half. Let me have my mirror here, and I just put a little bit at the inner corners, both the sides. And the corner of my eyes. I do a little bit near my nose because that is where I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation, and you'll see I just took half of the amount that came in the applicator, and I'm using it all over my face. I use it over here and here because these are the places again where I have the hyperpigmentation. A little bit over here, and the remaining half that I just wiped out over here, I'm taking that small amount and I'm just putting it on the center. So it's basically the areas where I normally highlight when I wear a foundation. So this is all the places that I highlight using a concealer, and over here I have slight dark spots, so I'm just gonna dab a little bit over here on both the sides because these are the areas where I have the dark spots. A little bit. So this is all that I have on my face. So it is just one swipe, the whole swipe of the applicator. I've just taken it 2 parts and I've put it everywhere that I would normally highlight. And for my under eyes, whenever I'm using a sponge or a beauty blender for my under eyes, I always use a dry sponge. I don't use a wet sponge. I feel that when I use a dry sponge, I get even more coverage. You can see I have really good dark circles, but I haven't used any color corrector. This concealer itself has a lot of peachiness to it. It has a lot of peachy undertone to it. Though this is a very cool toned color, that's what the shade states, but it still brings out a lot of peachiness in it, and so I feel that it blends really well with my skin tone and it covers up all the hyperpigmentation. So it's the moment of truth, and here we go. Do you see the pigmentation? And you saw how less I had used. I had used so less. And that was so easy to blend out. It doesn't feel very thick. It feels really creamy when I use it. But yeah, when it is so easy to blend, I just can't tell you. It's so tough to explain by words at how easy it is to blend. But I'm sure that when you see me blending it so seamlessly, you would know that it is so smooth. It blends like a dream. So I'm just going to blend out all the areas where I had used it so that it gives me a more seamless finish. What I'm going to do is, after I blend out these areas, I had concealer only here and here. So now that everything is blended, I'm just taking the other side of the sponge where I don't have anything, and I'm just blending out the edges so that everything looks more seamless. It looks more put together, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Let me grab my mirror. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So see how it looks on both the sides. So let me do my forehead. And now the nose. I don't contour my nose, but normally this is how I leave it. So I put concealer on both the sides and on the center so that it gives me a really natural contour. So again, I'm going to turn it to the other side where I don't have any concealer, and I'm just gonna buff them together so that it still gives me that contoured look, contoured finish. However, it looks more smooth and more finished. Now can you see the difference? Does it look more contoured? And I think that is it. That is done. Just look. Have you seen a concealer that gives you a luminosity and still looks really natural? Because all the concealers that I've used, it really gives me a mattifying look. Because it's a concealer, you want it to stay in place, you want it to be creaseless, and normally when it is a creaseless concealer, it normally stays put, so that is why they have it more. I thought I broke my mirror, and I know they say it's a bad sign. For 7 years you have bad fortune if you break a mirror, so I'm gonna keep my mirror to my side. So look at the luminosity this concealer is giving me. So it's giving me a really natural finish. I am going to give me finishing to the edges because we are going to use the rest of our makeup like the bronzer, blush and all the shebang. But as of now, just see how smoothless and how seamless this looks on my skin, and I have been loving it. I have been loving it to wear it just like this without any foundation, because I feel it's so different. I feel with the foundation, the luminosity, the amount of luminosity that I'm getting right now, it just goes, it hides somewhere. It just gets mixed with the foundation and the luminosity just fades away. But when I use it like this, it looks so pretty. Now you can see with this luminosity, when I use cream products, wow, it gives such a natural finish. So that goes without saying, because when you use cream products, you know that you obviously get a very natural look and a very natural finish. But today, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use all powder products and show you that still how luminous it looks on my skin. So first let me set my under eyes. So I'm taking a really matte under eye setting powder, that is the Laura Mercier. So I'm using the same sponge. I'm taking a little on the sponge, then I'm tapping it on my hand over here to take off the excess, and then I am just pressing it under my eyes. I'm not using too much powder. I want to use the minimum amount of powder on my under eyes because I want this natural finish to stay all day long, and that's the only reason I'm using a light powder. But I don't want to use too much powder and just take away all the luminosity that it's giving me. So for the other side, I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking it on the sponge, I'm taking off the excess on my hand, and then using very light-handed, I'm just pressing it into my under eye, and that is it. So I'm just doing a little bit wherever I normally highlight, normally on the T-zone where I don't want excess oil to come through. So that is it. That is all the powder that I'm going to use on my face, and now we're going to do the full shebang. I'm going to use the powder bronzer, For blush, I'm going to use the Cover FX Blush in Spiced Cinnamon. So I'm going to use a combination of both of these. Blush is done. I'm going to go with the highlighter now. I'm using the Makeup by Mario highlighter in the shade Honey. Just see how natural it looks. I've done my bronzer, I've done my blush, I've done my highlighter, and I haven't used a foundation. It's just the concealer. And look at the luminosity, the glow, and the natural look that it's giving me. So let me quickly do my eyes, my eyebrow, and my lips, and I'll be right back. And there I am. So yes, I have my complete makeup done. I wanted to go for a very natural look, but I did a little bit of smokiness on my eyes and a very natural lip. So if you're interested to see what all I have on my face, it will be listed in the description box below as always. So yeah, you can catch up with whatever I've used. Alright, so now do you believe what I said is true? Because this is a concealer. This is the first concealer that I am so comfortable of wearing it even for a party or a big event without wearing a foundation. So if I feel that the foundation is creasing a lot, or if it's too oily, I would just go for a concealer like this. This has really blown my mind away. So on Labour's Day weekend, me and my son, we had a mom and son time. So we were out the entire day. So I wore this exact same makeup and we were out for at least 9 hours. So, and when I came back home, it was exactly the same, the beautiful luminosity, and I was wearing my mask. So because you're not wearing a foundation, there is no reason for it to peel or crease or anything, because there's no foundation over here, so there's no creasing at all. So yeah, this is one of the methods that I've been loving wearing this concealer with. So you can give it a try as well. So yeah, that was my review for this concealer. I have been loving it. Alright, so that is all from my side. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you once again for all your love and support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!